Hey, what's up, everybody? All right, just waiting for the URL and some more people to come on, and then we'll start our day. I can't take any more days off. Excuse me. All right, just waiting for some more people to come on here. Not many people were here private today, so I'm just gonna make it public because I want some information to get out. Yo, what's up, everybody? Good day, good day. Hey, I'm just gonna give it one more minute, and then we'll start our day. Hope everyone's having a good day. Better week than mine, at least. It's been kind of a crazy week for everybody here in Turkey. If you guys are following the news, you'd probably know about what's going on in Turkey right now. And there was a massive earthquake, two of them actually, which is unheard of, where they were both over 7.5 on the Richter scale. That was insane. Like right now, how many are dead? A Turkey earthquake death count. So right now, as of this morning, there's 8,000 people dead. That is insane. In 8,000 people. So I would just like to take this time to let everybody know that like my family and I, we've donated a pretty substantial amount. Like this morning, Uraz and I, my wife, we donated 50,000 Turkish lira on top of the 200,000 Turkish lira that our family and we put together. So we donated a total of $250,000. I know that's not gonna, or sorry, 250,000 Turkish lira. I know that's not gonna ease the pain that a lot of families are suffering through right now, and it's not going to make up for the lives lost, but I hope it can ease some of the suffering and help out people with food and water and just the basic needs. Udaz and I also ended up buying a crap ton of care packages that were food, like non-perishable foods in a can, and just sending them out there, and clothes as well. So we've been trying to donate our time as best as we can. But during a situation like this, it's just really difficult to actually help out, right? I mean, all you can do is really sit back and mourn the lives lost, especially when you're not in the country, for example. Like, let's be real. Like, sure, people in North America, like Canadians, Americans, like, they'll read it on the news and they'll feel bad for a little bit. And then, they'll go on with their lives, right? It's kind of like Americans and Canadians. Most of them that I know, they don't give a crap about things going on in Europe because everyone is selfish to an extent, and that's all right because we go back to our daily lives. Things are really far away from us, so they're not going to affect us nearly as much, right? But when you're actually in Turkey and your wife is Turkish, it becomes a whole different level of what hurts. And I've never felt like this before, where it's people that I love, it's a country that I love, and people that I really respect and adore, and I'm here, right? So it's affecting me a little bit differently as well. So if anybody wants to donate, you can. If you are using IBAN, you can go here on my Twitter. There are these two very important names out there. This guy is a famous musician in Turkey. He's got about 7 million followers. He has his own fundraising company to help out with this cause right now. So if you want to donate internationally, you can, as long as it's converted to Turkish lira through an app called Wise. And if you want to donate crypto, you can go to this man's page, Haluk Levant, and you can donate in crypto to this place. And 100% of your money donated will help out the cause. But of course, don't feel obligated out of your way. It's only if it's within your means to help out. So anyways, let's get into this. So I wanted to go over, first of all, something that somebody DM'd me. And they basically DM'd me this, and I'll summarize it, okay? A friend of mine yesterday, he messaged me and he said he's in a position with a $750,000 loss because he went short on some coins in the middle of January, and about like a $250 million position, or sorry, $2 million position, and it's now down to 1.25 million. So it's a $750,000 loss. And this person basically asked me, "Can I get your advice?" So this is what I said to him straight up. I'm not here to advise on someone's crappy situation. If he wants my expert advice, he can pay me for my time to look very closely at the situation. And I charge the people that I help manage their $1 million portfolios. It's only a few of them. It's not many. It's only under 10 people. And I've built a relationship with them, first of all, over years. They were people who had like, $5,000, $10,000 that have grown it substantially with me since I've known them in 2017, in 2016, before we had $10,000 in our bank account. And we are all friends in this circle where we grew up together in crypto. So those are the people that I will advise because I have a close relationship with them. But not only that, they respect me for my time. And I charge them $800 an hour for my time. They don't always pay that much, but my time is worth a lot because, well, first of all, I manage a Discord group, right? I've got a family to take care of. I got to day trade as well. I got to create content. So time is really valued to me. So, and I said to him, I'm not going to advise him because of so many reasons. Let's say a random person came up to you and they're like, "Hey, I'm down this much in my position right now. I'm in a $2 million position, right? What should I do?" The first thing I would think is, why the fuck are you trusting random people with advice? Right? Why would you want to get advice from a random person when you're down this much? Do you not trust your own advice? Have you not done your own research? What kind of person actually makes these kinds of decisions and they're down $750,000, right? And then they're like, fuck, I fucked up. I'm going to ask somebody else what I should do. You probably shouldn't even be managing that much money to begin with if you can't even trust your own advice and actually take charge and control. Not only that, if you are actually shorting, like for example, the middle of January, okay? This is the middle of January, right there. First of all, look at it on the weekly. As you've noticed that Bitcoin has fallen down about 77%. And then the weekly is over here. So the middle of January was around here. Why on earth would you be managing $2 million and shorting it on the most gigantic bull rally that we have ever had since the bear market began? Why would you short it? I'm sorry to say, but your friend is a complete idiot if you're actually trying to short it when the market has rallied like 34% already. Okay, like the market has literally rallied 34%. It is by far the biggest rally we've had, and it has broken out of every key indicator, even in the middle, right? In the middle, like we broke the 3-day Chandler exit indicator volatility by January the 13th. So after breaking some key volatility ranges, what on earth would make you think of shorting Bitcoin? Like, that makes no sense to me. And that's why I can't even give a comment on what he should do for his position, because it's just idiotic to me. You shouldn't be managing that much money if you don't even have the common knowledge to not short in these kind of situations. The last thing everybody is thinking of right now is shorting. In fact, what everybody's most likely thinking of is, how could I be accumulating? Should I be accumulating for the long term? Not freaking shorting. There are guys on YouTube who have like 2 million subscribers and they're talking about shorting, and they openly talk about their short position from $20,000. And I'm thinking to myself, holy fuck, these guys are just YouTubers. They're not professional traders like me, or investors, or investor like me that's managing a pretty decent amount of money as well. But it doesn't sound like these guys are reaching any success. Like, you cannot trust a YouTuber that just does technical analysis. Another chart guy, let's just start a YouTube channel and just make charts, and then we're just gonna talk about charts. Where are your live trades, man? Like, you gotta trust people that live trade, that show their position publicly, that has shown their P&L before. Like, really, so just back to the topic there. Like, I can't advise your friend, like when you're asking me, hey, what should my friend do? Well, I don't know his risk tolerance. I don't know how much money he actually has set aside, right? I don't know the pain factor that this person can go through as well. When you're managing $2 million, you can't just give somebody a 1-paragraph advice and be like, yep, this is it. You got to actually go through the numbers with them and do a risk analysis from scratch. That takes a lot of time. And I just don't have that kind of time. And to be quite honest, I don't care either enough to advise people. So anyways, let's get into this. So if you're ever in a bad situation, own up to it. maybe get some loose advice from people, but you're the ultimate person that can decide what you do with your position, and only you can ultimately become profitable or take a loss. But my general rule is if you're in a really crappy position and you're really doubting yourself and you don't know what to do, you just got to accept your decision no matter what. If you cut your loss when you're in a really bad position because you should have cut your loss a long time ago, right? If you're down like 40, if you're down like 33% already, right? You got to make a decision because the market could easily go up. It can go up to 25K and then 26K. If Bitcoin gets there, you're going to be down like 50% of your $2 million position. So you got to make a choice and own up to it, whatever you decide to do. Do you have the risk factor? Can you accept that risk to lose a lot more money if it goes up? But if you accept that risk, there's also the possibility of a big gain, which is it drops back to the downside and you mitigate your loss. You minimize overall how much you lose. But keep in mind, it's only up to you to decide that. I can't decide for you what you should do, how much risk you should take on, right? It's really up to the individual person. That's why everyone's stop loss is different. That's why everyone takes profit and enters at different positions as well, depending on confirmation and risk. This game is all about managing your risk. So I would like personally, if I was stupid enough to let my position ride, which I've been in that situation many times before, right? When I was younger, in my early days, but I've never been in that situation of letting a ride loss for literally 6 years now. And this, in my first 2 years of trading, I was pretty bad at it. I would let my losses ride. And then eventually what would happen is this. I would like maybe like 8 out of 10 times the position would reverse on me. And I'm like, oh, thank God I held the position. And then those 2 out of 10 times, it completely goes against my position. And I got liquidated. That was the number one way that I got liquidated. I always lost money because I let the position ride. I got into the habit that, hey, I let it ride 8 times. I'm going to get lucky again. But there's just that one time, man, where it doesn't go back to the position you wanted to go to, and then you lose all your money. So if you make that decision to cut your losses, you at least gain the experience of cutting a loss and walking away from it before it gets more catastrophic. Does that make sense? So you're basically preventing a gigantic loss. And if you do that, you should walk away and be happy. If the position did reverse and you can't say to yourself like, oh man, I should have held. No, you can't say that. You have to say to yourself, oh, I'm really glad I cut my loss because I built discipline. I built character. I know what to do last time. And it's okay that I didn't hold on to my position even if it reversed. And I could have minimized how much I lost because what I did was I protected myself from further damage. And that is how a professional trader thinks. They don't think about, oh, I should have held it longer after it reverses. They accept that decision and you stick by it. You build that confidence to know that you can accept your stupid loss and walk away from it. To this day, it is so easy for me to take a loss. But back then, I used to have to close my eyes and get out of that position, click on market order, and a part of me died with my winnings, with my earnings that I gave back to the market. So until you overcome this, you shouldn't ever be trading with $2 million. You shouldn't. You are completely out of your league if you have $2 million and you're trying to short a bull market, like when it's in the early phases of rallying right now. So I'm sorry to say, but don't trade with more money and don't invest more money than you can actually put in and be comfortable to lose, because you will get humbled by the market. Because if you don't have the experience, you're going to get killed and then you're going to run to people and cry for help. It doesn't work like that in the market, man. You got to own up to your own decisions. So that's it. I wanted to talk about that investing side and stupidity in the market. So right now, Bitcoin has been sideways for literally 17 days now, and I'm getting really annoyed because we're not breaking any trends at all. No, I'm not gonna Baller Thug Life. I'm not gonna get a Dragon Ball Z car. But right now we have like a Mini Cooper S. We're happy with that. It's good enough because we drive it once every 6 months. We drive literally twice a year. But we're gonna be moving to the mountains and the seaside. So we're gonna buy a Range Rover, like a really good one, when we move further outside this, because we need it, right? We need a bigger vehicle. And then after that, in 1 year, we're gonna buy like one of these buses and convert it to a van, because my wife is terrified of earthquakes right now. So we're gonna build one of these crazy vans with gigantic wheels, put all of our animals in it if there's ever an emergency, with a bathroom and a kitchen and food that could last us for like a whole year. So Bitcoin right now, guys, it's sideways. It's so boring right now. It's been sideways for literally 17, 18 days now. What defines a sideways market? Well, what defines a sideways market is the chandelier exit indicator. First of all, it's going from green to red to green to red to green to red, right? A volatile market is indicated by a solid green line that's supporting below the price action. And then these are corrective waves, okay? You guys want to see something really cool about chandelier exit that you probably don't know about? Let me show you something really amazing. So chandelier exit, what you're seeing right now on a higher time frame is this is indicating one wave, right? It's all below. So let's just say you went to a lower time frame. Okay, let's keep seeing going lower until you see it breaking up a little bit more. So here it indicates one gigantic wave going to the upside, right? Huge waves. Let's just say you keep going down, right? So keep going down a little bit further. Trust me, I have a really good point. Okay, so let's go down a little bit further. So you keep going down until you see it broken down a little bit. So now you can actually start to see the fractals. Okay, look, now that you're starting to see the fractals, you're starting to see the regions where it's fighting green and red. There's one there, there's one there, there's one there. Those are the consolidation patterns, okay? Those are the consolidation periods where the correction is figuring out what the market is doing. And those are the places you should be looking for a possible breakout, okay? So here you see it turn green to red there. You know something's going to happen eventually, okay? You got to identify a trend line like that. And then once it breaks out of that volatility on the red, that's where you just buy it. But you got to watch on a lower time frame. Just like right here as well, green, red, identify a pattern. It usually comes in a line, a simple little line. See, it touches there. As soon as it breaks it, so you see that it goes red there. As soon as it turns green like that and it breaks out of the resistance, you enter, right? So that's how you trade these volatility type ranges. So here is a little bit trickier. I probably would have taken the high over here, okay, probably around there. So you see green there. As soon as it breaks these highs, you can wait for a pullback, a small one like that, and you can just enter. So this is how you use chandelier exit indicator. It's actually the same thing if you think about it as an EMA as well. So just take a look at the EMA. Okay, you see that every time it gets close to these lines, that's where the consolidations happen. When it's trending above, that's the rally. This is the consolidation, right? Where it's going up and down, below, above, below, above. So right now, if you take a look at all these coins, the chandelier exit indicator, green, red. 55 EMA, the yellow, is just up and down. So this is how you know some coins are not volatile right now. And Bitcoin's no exception either. It's doing the same thing. But you know what is volatile? Coins like GRT. So GRT, I was literally half asleep last night. And I woke up I don't know why. I was dreaming about GRT reaching a resistance. I swear on my grandparents who are passed away. I swear on everything that's holy to me. I was literally dreaming about like a resistance for GRT where it was like trying to make an ascending triangle. But in my dream, I'm like looking at the chart. I'm like, it's not going to break. It's not going to break up. And then I started coughing and then I woke up and I got some water, came back to bed, turned on my phone, took a look at GRT. And I said to myself, fuck, I'm so glad that I got out of my short position. Lost like $400 before I went to bed, like around 9. Because it started to spike up there, right? I'm like, whoa, this is amazing that I just spiked up. Then I went really far back. I'm like, there's got to be a resistance. So the way you identify a resistance after a gigantic breakout like that is by zooming out on a high time frame. So for example, here, you don't see anything, right? I saw it break above here. But I'm like, that can't be that major of a resistance, like around the 209, because it broke above it. Look, it broke above it. So you know what I did? I went even further back. And I noticed this right there. Okay? Right there. Do you see that? Right there. This is the entry. Whoops. This is where it first bounced the very first time this coin came out. Okay, it made a gigantic drop of like, how much here? Look at the drop. It dropped like 70% and then it rallied. So I said to myself, that's gotta be a resistance. And you know what happened? Look what happened. That's exactly what happened. It hit it a few times and then it rejected. So I made the genius entry of entering at the top. But you know what happened? I took my profit only after 3%. You know what could have happened? Instead of taking 3%, I could have taken like, I don't know, another 16%. So I was in a $200,000 position, could have made $30,000, but I was asleep. So my point is this: if you catch a top, try your best to ride it the best that you can, especially when you're confident that it's a top. There's no reason for me to have exited the position when I think about it, okay? Because, chandelier exits were still going like crazy. So that's how I was able to catch that. I actually caught it on the 15-second time frame if you guys were watching. So the only way for you to trade a very volatile coin when it is moving huge percentages is by price action, EMAs, and chandelier exit. That is my opinion. RSI, MACD is good too on a low time frame, but RSI is not going to do shit for you. Elliott Wave is not going to do crap either. If you're trading a volatile coin and you're trying to do Elliott Wave on the higher time frame, by the time you even got to a reasonable count, you probably would have wasted a few seconds that you could have used watching the price action. So price action is so important. I noticed that the price action was saying that, hey, it's turning bearish now, breaking the 30-second chandelier exit indicator. The 55 EMA started to break as well, and where it held there, and it started dropping down. And here's where I took my profit, right there. Then I went back to bed. This was around midnight. So that was decent. So back to Bitcoin right now. I just can't see it doing anything anytime really, really soon. It is figuring it out so hard right now. Every single RSI time frame is neutral, including the daily. Daily is neutral. 2 days a little bit overbought right now. But anything between 30 and 70, you just don't know what's going to happen, okay? But what we do know is that this formed a pretty decent support range right down there around 22,500. Whenever you take a support, always consider a range, not a set hard price. So I see this range around 22,600, a very reasonable support. So right now, the weekly is still trending upwards. Okay, the weekly is still trending up high. We're breaking key RSI ranges. Like we broke the March of 2022 RSI. That's pretty big, right? That's huge. Very huge, actually. I just noticed that. The 2-week RSI has a resistance coming up, which we haven't touched yet. But the 2-week MACD is still trending really nicely. And then we've also got that 55 EMA and also the blue 200 EMA still coming up. So right now, Bitcoin it's scary, I gotta admit, because we don't know if it's gonna golden crossover or death cross or not. So this is coming up on the weekly right here. See that? It's coming up. The blue's 255 is yellow. So when this guy gets close to each other, something crazy is gonna happen. Either we're gonna spike up hard, and then we're gonna come back down. And if it comes back down, guys, and it holds, oh my god, I'm gonna buy a lot of crypto, and I don't care if it drops even further because I'll buy even more. Now's the time to really think about your long-term portfolio, about what's gonna happen. About if you should be accumulating now. If it drops further, how much are you gonna buy? If this was the bottom and you bought now, how much will you buy on strength? So there's a lot of decisions that you need to make for investing long-term. It's not just as easy as buy now, hold, and forget. Right? Yeah, you'll do pretty well, but the difference between doing very well with a 3 to 4x gain and the difference between a 10x gain is really different, in my opinion. So still, I stand by if 22,600 breaks, then we'll get a really bearish run, probably down to about 21,000. But if we hold around here, I would see no reason why we're not going to get up to 25,200. That is my opinion. So I'm just going to take some questions now. Oh, by the way, like some coins have just been popping, right? Like the best way to do it is just to go to the weekly. Just make a filter for like the weekly movement below 10% and above 10% on whatever exchange you trade. So then you can see that on the weekly. See the weekly here, right? We got some coins that went up like 69% on the spot, but I don't look at spot. I only take a look at USDTP. So if you take a look for the week, you're seeing like this is the weekly column right here, okay? For the week right there, and actually I'll change this to the weekly here too. You can take a look at this column here now. You'll see that GRT is definitely the number one gainer. BLZ popped up, Rose popped up, CHR popped up. So you probably want to put them on your watch list. So the way you should do a watch list is this, okay? Do you see my watch list on the right? Just color code it to whatever you want. I put it red because I like red. And then when you choose a color, you can click here again, watch list, watch list, watch list. all the coins over 25% or 20% for the week, you should probably get on your watch list just to see if a trend's going to happen. And then after you put them on the watches, it shows up over here. I also have another category, for example, here, where priority. Do you see that? If GRT is a priority where it's doing something, I move it up there. And the ones that are very volatile, where they move 25%, I'll move into this category while it's just sitting there, right? So heavy volatility are just the ones that are moving a little bit. And then these guys here, I'll just put into the consolidating phase. So I know how to prioritize and make these sections. Because if you keep a track of the coins you could be trading, it's going to keep you more profitable long term. You don't just want to log on and be like, what do I trade today, right? I'm just going to go for the most volatile coin. Yeah, you can do that, but you also need to track a coin that's consolidating. So every single day as it's consolidating, you're going to see a possible breakout pattern. Let me just give you an example. Like, I remember tracking Axis for months before this happened, okay? Months we're talking about. I'm just going to go back to the beginning of the bull market in 2021 for Axis. And I remember making a lot of money on this coin here at first. And then I lost a gigantic too because I ended up shorting it at the wrong place. So this guy over here, right? This one here, I made a lot of money on this breakout. I was watching this guy for literally like how long? I forgot how long. This one was 7 days. There's been longer ones actually. Which one am I looking at? Hang on. I can't remember. Honestly, I just can't remember. I'm sorry, guys. It was like a channel. It was like a channel that just worked out really freaking well. Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't remember. It's too far back. But anyway, sometimes you gotta... that was kind of a waste of time there. Sorry about that. But my whole point of all of that is you have to track the coins that have moved a lot and they're starting to consolidate in the pattern, that you put them into your consolidating list. And then every single day you say to yourself, all right, well, is it doing something, a more noticeable pattern? Check it every single day. This way you can perhaps catch a breakout on the next one that ends up happening. So a lot of coins are popping right now. Make sure you put them on your watch list. They may have a continuation. And in terms of my portfolio, it's doing really well. Yesterday moved a lot. Coins recovered. Jeremy Powell's speech wasn't really that hawkish at all, so it was pretty good. So that's really good. And a lot of coins like Algo, I'm telling you guys, Algo is doing something. Look, it just popped out of this little channel resistance thing here. See that? Not only did it pop out, but it bounced off of it. It looks like it's going to try to do something. Like Algo, I'm telling you guys, Algo is my number one pick this year with over $150,000 now holding Algo. And if it reached the all-time high, my $150,000, it's going to do about 1,000x. So it's going to turn to like $1.5 million if it ends up reaching the all-time high, which I think it will. And it's also going to shatter it. I think Sol's going to do really well. All these coins are going to do really well, especially DOT. I think in the near future, DOT's going to be one of the top. Did you guys know that DOT has the third most developers in the entire world with 2,000 developers? Number one is Bitcoin. Number two is Ethereum. Did you guys know that DOT has 2,000 developers? It's a number 3 coin with the most developers in the world. If you don't know about Polkadot, you gotta start learning about it because, man, this guy is a silent killer. I'm telling you. It was only released in 2021. All-time high-wise, 720 possible percent ROI. That's gigantic. So $100,000, if it reaches it in the next bull market, which it probably will, it's going to turn into $700,000 next bull market. So I'm just going to read some questions here. What about the RSI and MACD on the 2-day? So, I mean, the MACD is, it lags so much, the MACD, on a high time frame that, like, by the time it even crosses over, the crossover could have happened days ago. So the RSI is like, it's not indicating anything on the 2-day. Nothing at all, except it reached the peak. It's dropping a little bit now, and it has no idea what it wants to do. MACD says it's trending downwards, but so has the daily. You see the daily? Says it's been trending downwards for like 10 days now. But Bitcoin hasn't been trending downwards, has it? Right? It's going sideways. So RSI and MACD can be very useless for sideways motion. And then I'm just going to keep reading. I trade on Binance, the Genfire. I trade on Binance because it has the most active users and the most volume as well. But unfortunately, you have to register, so it's not for every country, and you can't short it in every country, right? Yeah, I did have to register KYC on Binance for Canada. But in Canada, they're gonna ban futures market and leveraging in general very soon. But that doesn't matter or affect me because I'm also Turkish, right? I have a Turkish identity card. I'm almost a Turkish citizen. So I can just make a new account on Binance.com and trade in Turkey because they haven't banned it. If I really doubt that they're gonna ban crypto in Turkey anytime soon because Turkey just started accepting cryptocurrency for the earthquake, right? And like I could just see the government being very, very pro crypto after accepting a crap ton of donations. That's really helping money flood into the market. Do I think Bitcoin could reach 250,000? Yeah, I do. I think Bitcoin could reach $1 million in like 10 years. Harsh, I don't take I'm not your, like let's do a technical analysis request person on here, man. You can pay me for that, or actually, even if you paid me, I wouldn't care about doing TA for other people because doing a TA requires an immense amount of time and energy, and I don't have that time to spare for people outside the Discord group. So yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna take off now. Sorry guys, I don't take personal requests on YouTube for technical analysis. But if you're in my Discord group, just post it in the Discord group. If you want to know about what Adam or Gala is doing in the Discord group, just post your chart and I will be more than happy to help you if you're in the Discord group. So anyways, take care guys. Have a great day and thank you very much for joining me and stay safe. Bye now.